And there is some additional feature that is not known for everyone. To run faster, you can hold your shift button on a keyboard. You will be running really fast. Hi people, hi everyone for joining us. Glad to see you here. We'll be starting in a minute. So please go and take your seats. The stage will be used by speakers. We will ask you to take your seat in the audience. Obviously, you can come for a little dance before we start. Don't be shy. Show some moves for us.
Hello, everyone. But can you give me the rights to share my screen?
Yes, let me check it. You can click it with your left mouse click and you will see it.
Do you see my screen now?
Yes, yes. Screen is properly loaded. And yeah, we can start while more people are joining us. So today we will be talking about Web3 first quarter updates and trends of industry. But before we start, let's have a little introduction and understanding to special to this space, what we can do here. So first of all, you can update your avatar. If you want to do it, you can go to your right bottom screen, click on your avatar and pick edit avatar option. So you can change clothes to yourself. You can upload even your photo and your avatar will be generated from your photo. So feel free to play with it if you want. Another thing, what you can do here, you can dance and you can clap. And let's review it all together. So please click on the reaction button, which is on the bottom of your screen, and pick your favorite dance. Mine is the twist. I really like to twist on the stage. And also to show some appreciation to the speakers and to our organization of this event, you can click the like button in reactions and it will show the claps. You will hear the sound of claps. And alternatively, you can click the C button on your keyboard and it will also clap. So let's try. Let's give a round of applause to everyone and to yourself for joining us today. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. And another thing, I will ask you not to clap during the presentation because it's really loud and it can be not good for the speaker. Also, to see the presentation on the full screen, you can click on the icon on the top of your screen and pick the presentation. So for example, right now, Ivan is sharing his screen. So you can click the presentation and you will have the full screen view of the preparation slide. Yes, and to speak, you need to click the mic button. So you can mute and unmute yourself, and we will ask you to unmute when you're only speaking. And while the speaker is providing his presentation, please stay muted. If you have some questions, you can ask them in the chat. We will cover all of them. And after each topic, we will have a few minutes to discuss your questions. And before we start, the last thing that we will ask you, please like our space. You will find the third button on top of the screen, and it will help you to join our next events. You will receive a notification when we'll be live in this space. And with having all this information, let's move to the agenda. But before we start, I will ask you to take your seats and leave this stage for the speakers. So I will send you to the seats and we'll continue. So the agenda for today, we start with the blockchain statistics, and we will review the metrics for the first quarter of 2023. Then we will move to the performance of decentralized applications. After that, we will have a presentation from our good friends on the importance of managing liquidity for tokens, actually on topic of market making. And we will finish with the presentation about insights on our investment analyst education program. So once more, thank you for joining us, and let's start with the first speaker. I'm really happy to present you and introduce Ivan Maltsev, who is the general partner of 3x Capital, or simply we can say OG of crypto. He started managing a portfolio in crypto market in 2017, and since then he was a successful angel investor. And while holding the degree and having background in law and international economy, it helps him to define the most prominent startups in the Web3 industry and support them with achieving the desired goals. So with no more words, I'm happy to invite Ivan to the stage and present the first topic to us. Ivan, feel free to start here.
Thank you, Petra. Pleasure to hear an introduction from your colleague and friend always. Good evening or morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. Very happy to present the updates on blockchains in the Q1. So we will dive deeply into the core metrics that usually we put attention in every month and present to our community. So today we will focus on quarterly results, and as usual we will take care of the numbers that we discussed on the previous months as well. So the first number that I would like to discuss today is an FDV, or a fully diluted valuation, which is the most important metric for us when we invest in the early stage startups. So instead of equity valuation, we in token investments we have FDV. And as you can see, simply speaking, FDV is the amount of tokens, maximum amount of tokens with the price of the tokens. So we have, for instance, for Bitcoin, 1 million of Bitcoins as a maximum amount, and with the current price, the FDV of Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency is almost $600 billion. And frankly, just checked the information today. Bitcoin is the 11th largest asset in the world. The first one, by the way, who knows what is the largest asset in the world? Feel free to unmute yourself and just guess what is the largest asset in the world. I will give you a hint. The capitalization of this asset is around $12 trillion. Any ideas? No ideas. Okay, it's gold. Let's move forward. With BNB chain, we have seen an impressive growth for around 45% in FDV for just the first quarter. Together with the price, the amount of supply that was unlocked decreased because of the quarterly burning that BNB chain has, and the yearly burning amount right now is around 6.5%. So every quarter, BNB chain, they burn 1.5% approximately of their maximum supply. And we also have Cardano, which is the third largest assets based on FDV, but of course it doesn't include stable coins and it doesn't include Ethereum because the supply of Ethereum is unlimited. And what we have seen with Cardano during the first quarter, together with the price, it has grown for more than 30%. So right now we have $17.5 billion Cardano, and we can see also a new blockchain and token that just joined this list called Arbitrum. That was actually, this token was successfully launched in the end of March, if I'm not mistaken, in 23rd or 24th of March, and currently around only 10% of supply is tradable, or we call it liquid supply. So we will see around 90% of tokens that will be unlocked in the future for Arbitrum. Also, we can see here two other leading layer 2 blockchains like Polygon and Optimism with almost the similar supply, around 11 and $9.8 billion. Let's move to another metric that we use called CMC. So the difference is that the FDV is a maximum amount of tokens and CMC is a circulating market capitalization. So the amount of tokens that are already liquid and tradable. So for Bitcoin, as we know, we have around 92% of tokens that are liquid and already mined. For Ethereum, we have, as you can see, more than 224 billion capitalization right now, and soon we will have the main, one of the main and most important events, upgrade called Shanghai, that will influence, I think, the market significantly and show that Ethereum is a leading blockchain and it delivers what the founders are promising to the community. For BNB chain, we can see also an impressive growth in the first quarter. But of course, frankly, who knows what was the top performer of the first quarter. what asset was the first performer from layer 1 and layer 2 blockchain in the first quarter from the projects that were already launched. Any ideas? Okay, let me name just the best performers. One of them is Bitcoin. Actually, it overperformed many that are like 10 and 20 times smaller, has a smaller capitalization. And the growth for Bitcoin from the 1st of January is almost 100%. If I'm not mistaken, it's around 91%. And we can see that the asset is still very volatile and growing very fastly. Also, we can see that Cardano circulating market cap is also almost the similar that we have NFDV, so around 80% of Cardano tokens are already liquid. That's very good and sustainable signal for us as investors in this asset. Also, we can see that the Polygon CMC is almost 6 times higher than for Arbitrum. So Polygon has 10 billion CMC, and Arbitrum, the second layer blockchain of Ethereum, has 1.5 billion. So it's more than 6 times lower. It gives us also an understanding of the potential for growth. And of course, that almost 90% of supply of Arbitrum will be unlocked in the nearest couple of years. DAO or daily active users in the first quarter, but actually we can see this number like daily. For instance, many of you knows the blockchain Tron, but I think not everyone knows why they have like the highest amount of daily active users right now, and it's 1.7 million users. And frankly, I checked the same chart just today, and it was more than 2 million daily active users in Tron blockchain. The answer is very simple. They they are supporting many blockchains, leading blockchains and stable coins. I'm sorry, they have added a lot of stable coins and currently are using traders are using Tron for very low transactions. So right now we can see that the price for the transaction is around $1 or sometimes even less. For BNB chain, as you know, they're growing very fast. I'm sorry, and the amount of users is increasing month by month. Even if we will compare with the previous year, that wasn't very impressive. Still, the ecosystem was growing. I think around 10 or 12% growth in a year. And the Q1 is also very successful for BNB chain, and many new decentralized applications, especially in DeFi, they're selecting BNB chain for the layer 1 as a layer 1 solution. Then we can see a Bitcoin. I know that today this crypto is taking the majority of the attention of the users, even based on the last research in Google searches. The Bitcoin is the word that was searched the most by the US citizens just recently between all words in the world. So people are putting a lot of attention and of course money in this cryptocurrency. That's why a lot of transactions are happening in the blockchain of Bitcoin. We can see Ethereum and its layer 2 solutions that are standing nearby, like Polygon. which has almost the same daily active users as Ethereum has. And then we can see Arbitrum that is 2 times lower than Polygon, but still has an impressive amount of daily active users. And of course, we can check other cryptocurrencies. For instance, with Solana, the amount of daily active users has decreased almost 30% in the first quarter. The next significant metric is active developers. Active developers are users who did at least 2 commits in the GitHub of the blockchain. For instance, in Ethereum, we can see that there are like almost 200 active developers. I remember the times in September previous year, it had around 250 or 270 active developers in September. So this metric is impressive and means a lot, because there are people who are behind of this foundation and are helping to improve it, to make it work. And definitely those are people whom we should love and respect. We can see the great dynamic in Polkadot, Kusama, and Cosmos. Frankly, we checked this metric, and we see that those like 3 blockchains, they are sustainably developing their solutions and improving. And this number is also supporting this argument for us. Cardano is implementing its long-term roadmap and strategy, and still has a lot of things to develop based on their roadmap. I think it would be a great topic for our next discussion to dive deeply into Polkadot and Cardano's roadmaps. Because on the previous session, we discussed with you the Ethereum roadmap and achievements for the previous year, and Binance Smart Chain as well. Next time we will take care of other blockchains too. So we can see that a new blockchain that will be launched in April 24th, called Sui, also has a lot of things to introduce to our community. Especially, we know that many decentralized applications are launched Sui, and very, very soon, this month, we'll see their mainnet. So Sui is next, maybe Aptos killer, some people will say, but definitely we will find out very, very soon how they will be successful or not. Then we can see that Polygon and Ethereum also active who are improving their technology, and hopefully they will introduce something very, very special to us soon. Let's move to the last slide. And here I wanted to put attention to code commits. So I took the numbers for the first quarter, and we can see that the most active blockchain with code commits was Cardano, with more than 6,000 commits done in the first quarter. Then we can see Internet Computer. Frankly, I don't know what they are building right now, but as we can see, they are doing this very actively. And then we can see also Polkadot and Kusama. And then only then we can see Ethereum and Sui. We also added here a source and the link to all these metrics. You will be able to find all the information because we will share the presentation after this meeting, and you will dive deeply on your own in this metric in order to make better decisions and understanding. To sum up, we can see that the highest FDV has a bit, then of course Ethereum, but it's not possible to calculate its FDV because it has unlimited supply. Of course, then we have Binance Smart Chain with a BNB token and Cardano with 14 billion FDV. Speaking about CMC, Bitcoin is leading with 92% of liquid supply. Then Ethereum, BNB with also unlimited supply, and Cardano with almost 80% of liquid supply. By the way, 1% of supply became liquid during the first quarter, Cardano. Speaking about daily active users, Tron right now is the most active blockchain because of their solution for the stable coins. And then we can see the Binance Smart Chain with 1.2 million daily active users, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, and Arbitrum. Speaking about active developers, Ethereum has the first place, then Cosmos, Kusama, Polkadot, and Cardano are actively developing something, and definitely will introduce it to our community soon. We also see that the largest amount of commits was done by Cardano. Then we can see Internet Computer, Polkadot, Kusama, and Ethereum, the same blockchains that we can see with active developers. I'm looking forward to listen to your questions before I will continue our meeting. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask anything. Okay, if you don't have any questions, I will move forward and introduce to you the next speaker. I'm honored to introduce our senior investment analyst, Petro Janutsky, with whom we are working together and managing our research department at 3x Capital. And as you know, currently we have an impressive amount of deal flow from our partners and our colleagues who are helping us to achieve like the maximum of 150 startups per month. I know that during the first quarter we screened more than 300 startups, and thanks to Petro for his amazing work and his skills and proactivity for doing that. Also, before, Petro was working with the data analysis project for almost 3 years, and he holds a degree in information systems. He's investing in crypto for more than 5 years and actively participating in testing different technologies offered by this amazing Web3 ecosystem. So thank you for.
Sorry, may I have a quick question? May I have a quick question? I'm sorry. It is a little bit noisy here where I am. I'm just asking about the situation with Binance. Can you give some information about Binance? You know, you read news and you don't know exactly what's going on.
Of course. Frankly, I'm following the news daily about the Binance. I don't think we need to panic right now because of something that might happen, because this is something that actually the want from us to panic right now and to do some actions like sell or withdraw funds from Binance. On my opinion, they proved themselves as one of the most stable exchange and one of the most trustful service provider in the market. And currently they are leading the growth and adoption of the Web3 space. And for me, it would be like very unpredictable if something will happen with them. Plus, we should understand that Binance has a lot of assets under management, and if the situation with SEC will go further, it will just pay a large fine, and I think SEC might close this deal. So I think it's not a perfect time to panic and worry about it, but it's a great time right now to learn and find the opportunities in the market, because they are definitely here. Petro, I give a stage to you. Do you see my screen, hopefully?
Yes, thank you, Ivan, for this warm introduction, and thank you for covering this question about Binance. It's a really interesting situation, and a lot of stuff is going on currently, so we need to pay close attention to understand and bear in mind all the risks that we are having currently. But right now, let's continue with our presentation. And from myself, what I wanted to share with you today is the performance of decentralized applications in the first quarter of 2023. So we will review different metrics, and we'll define some trends and why these metrics are changing. So starting with the fully diluted valuation, as you remember, the fully diluted valuation is the metric that is calculated by multiplying the total amount of tokens that will ever exist in circulation by the price of the token. And as you see on the chart, the biggest project by FDV is Chainlink. And if we compare its FDV and its leading position to the previous quarter and even the first quarter of 2022, Chainlink was the leader. But since market cycle top, its FDV lost approximately 85% from the highs. But if you look in total at top FDV projects, we can see that some of them, and mostly all of them, are from the industry of decentralized finance and infrastructure. If we compare it to the bull market of 2022, there were also few GameFi and NFT decentralized application, and it really depends from the market cycle, and we can see that currently market performance and interest from investors is tied to the DeFi and mostly infrastructure, which shows itself to be more sustainable than gaming and NFT. Moving to circulating market cap, which is slightly different, as we've heard from Ivan today. Main difference is that the circulating market cap is calculated with the current circulation supply of the token, and you can see that leader by SC is unit, and it has 4.5 billion, and the main difference between Uniswap and Chainlink in the form of circulating market cap is that for Chainlink only 50% of tokens are unlocked in circulations, and we are expecting more to be unlocked soon. The tokens from the investors, team, and other participants and holders of the tokens. Another thing and another project which is currently in top by circulating market cap is Lido Finance, and the project is leveraging the trend of liquid derivatives, liquid staking. And if we look at the performance of this token, the project for this token. The performance in first quarter is really tremendous, and it's like top performer by the change in the price. And while it is so, we can think about trends with Ethereum and this upcoming Shanghai update, which is happening today. So it already brings a lot of attention to Ethereum staking, but when we will see that the update will be successful, we might see even more attention and more interest in Ethereum staking, because it will be more comfortable for investors to stake when they will know that okay, my token can be withdrawn in any moment, so I don't need to lock my token for an undefined period like it was done before. So we are expecting to the update become successful, and it might even successfully impact the price and therefore the circulation market cap of different liquid staking providers and their tokens, including Lido, who is the biggest liquid staking provider. Moving to the next metric, which is called total value locked, and this metric is used mainly for DeFi projects. And to better understand what it means, it stands for the total value of all assets that are locked into the protocol. So for example, using the same project Lido that we discussed before, TVL for Lido stands for all assets that are staked on the platform. So it's measured in dollar value. So for example, if on the platform there is a certain amount of tokens staked, we are just summing up all the value of these tokens, and we have the metric of TVL. And the leader here is the same, is Lido, but what is really impressive, if we compare the metric of TVL for Lido at the beginning of this year, we've seen a TVL of around 6 billion, and currently it stands at 11.2 billion, which is a positive growth trend of almost 100% quarter over quarter. So it's really a huge adoption and huge growth, because if you look at Uniswap in comparison to Lido, its TVL being steady and currently standing on $3.8 billion. The current trend is tied to Ethereum staking, and we can see this conversion into total value locked in Lido. The next metric is called cumulative earnings, and it shows the total sum of profit that was made in the first quarter of 2023. And we can see that OpenSea is leading by earnings. And one more time, the earnings of OpenSea is fueled by the trend of NFTs, which is currently hyping up with the new players on the market. We've seen the rise of a big OpenSea competitor called Blur, and their approach was made by token incentivization programs, where they're divided trading into different seasons, and were rewarding traders with token by doing trading exclusively on Blur Marketplace. And in this quarter, it was like the first time since the OpenSea became a leader of NFT marketplaces where OpenSea actually lost its leadership. So currently the Blur is dominating the NFT market with the volume share. But if you look at number of traders, NFT traders on both platforms, still OpenSea has more traders, but the volume is significantly lower. And it might be caused by the ongoing season on Blur, where NFT traders are bringing a lot of liquidity and wash trades to put some activity and get rewarded with tokens. And getting back to cumulative earnings, for the first quarter, OpenSea generated 15 million, which is relatively good result in comparison to some other decentralized applications. But if we look at the first quarter of 2022, when OpenSea generated more than 300 million in profit, this 15 million value looks really relatively small. It's a drop of more than 95%. And there is one important thing to understand, that there is no OpenSea token, which means that there are no token spending and incentivization of OpenSea user. Therefore, the revenue which is generated on the platforms through fees is converted into profit. And it's not the case, for example, for Blur, because first of all, there are no fees on Blur Marketplace, and also there is a Blur token which is distributed to NFT traders, and therefore the project itself is giving value back to users and cannot generate such high profits as OpenSea. And another metrics which we have is daily active users. And for the past 90 days, daily active users were tied mostly DeFi niche. What you can see is that the leader by active users was PancakeSwap, which is the decentralized exchange built on BNB chain. The second place is with the Uniswap, which has 2 times a smaller number of daily active users. And what is quite significantly is that Stargate, the decentralized exchange which is built on layer 0, has 33,000 daily active users, and they have seen a big rise in activity last time, and this raise was due to around layer 0 retro drop. So a lot of traders are currently using Stargate to have the chance to be a recipient of potential layer 0 retro drop because the Stargate is actually the platform which is built on this technology. And to sum up, the summary for this quarter is that the top decentralized applications by FDV and CMC are Uniswap, Chainlink, and Lido. Also, we've seen BitDAO as a leader in terms of FDV. And for Lido, the 87% of total token circulation is liquid, which means that less selling pressure from early holders like investors or our team is expected in the future, which is not the case, for example, for Chainlink, where only 51% is liquid. So leaders by TVL are Lido, Curve, and Uniswap. So the distribution of TVL is mostly to staking platform and decentralized exchanges, automated market makers like Curve and Uniswap. In terms of earnings, the leader is absolute leader is OpenSea, and we seen drop of 55 for OpenSea, and the next competitor in this metric is Ethereum name service, which generated 5 million in earnings in the first quarter. Also for Lido Finance, they have a certain fee on performance when you're staking through their platform, and therefore they generated 3.4 million in earnings in the first quarter. And the last metric that we reviewed is daily active users, and its preference of users were tied to decentralized exchanges. Stock platforms by DAU was PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and Stargate. And we are expecting to see even more daily active users on Stargate in the coming days, because the Layer Zero Foundation, the team behind the Layer Zero technology, announced that project closed their series round and raised around 120 millions, and the valuation of Layer Zero currently is around 800 millions. So a lot of retro drop hunters will see this announcement and will put a lot of activity into the Stargate to be eligible for the future airdrop. And that's all from me, and I will be glad to answer any question if there are so. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Petra. Let's give a round of applause to Petra. Feel free to think about your questions regarding decentralized applications or centralized applications, because I think today we discussed both. I think I can also ask a question. Petra, on your opinion, I'm just curious, do you feel that we really need so many layer 2 blockchains as we have currently in the market, and so many of them will be launched very soon, like Scroll and many others? What is your opinion on that?
Yes, that is a good question. I think at current capacity, we may not need a lot of L2 solutions. If we think about future adoption and more people joining this ecosystem, we might need more layer 2 technologies, and especially some unique technologies, like you can think that, okay, we have Arbitrum, Optimism, which are big scaling solutions for Ethereum, but they are built on technology of optimistic rollups. And currently there are projects that are launching on the technology of zero knowledge. So the project, which is called ZK Think, which gone mainnet a few days ago, for example, Polygon, which launched their own ZK EVM. So in my opinion, if we are thinking about new technologies that are arising in the industry of scaling Ethereum and layer 2 solutions, we might see that a lot of projects will be launched with the new technology, and in the future we might need it because we will see a bigger adoption. And the roadmap of Ethereum is really exciting, but we need a lot of years in the future to realize everything and have Ethereum as a fully scalable solution that will be able to have the capacity for all users.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Petra. Dear friends and guests, do you have any questions? You can unmute yourself, or you can write in our chat. We'll be happy to answer them. If not, thank you. Let's move forward. Petra, it was a pleasure to have you here. And I'm very happy to give a word to our partner, represented by Robert Lukoza, called Avon Labs, who is one of the largest market maker provider in the market. Robert, a stage is yours. Feel free to
All
unmute
right.
yourself.
All right. Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure, and look forward to speaking with you all today and meeting you here. All right. Are you going to be able to switch the slides for me to go forward? Okay, awesome. All right. So yeah, thank you guys for having us here. And yeah, so Carbon Labs, who are we? For over 4 years, we've been a designated market maker for digital asset projects and exchanges. We provide institutional grade quality solutions and quantitative trading strategies through our proprietary trading software, and have helped launch over 300 clients projects on exchanges. I've done an over aggregate of $200 billion of trade volume. Work with 100 plus partner exchanges, both decentralized and decentralized, with a 24-hour, 7 days a week, around the sun clock coverage. So, topic for today is token liquidity. So, if you're aware, token liquidity, what is token liquidity? It refers to the ease of which a particular asset can be bought and sold on an exchange without affecting the price significantly. In other words, liquidity refers to the ability to convert a token into cash or another cryptocurrency quickly and easily. An example, think of it as buying a car. As a buyer, you want to be able to buy a car ASAP while its market value is still low. However, the sellers of that car are taking a long time to respond because no one seems to be available to sell it even though that car is just sitting there untouched. Finally, someone approached you about that car and it could be sold after all, but here's the catch: the price increased because the waiting time was so long sitting there in the lot. The market value of the car increased. Now you have to pay more based on more than what you anticipated of paying that. So this is an example of what's called low liquidity. So basically, low liquidity is when an asset has high slippage, meaning that the price you're paying for it is a lot higher or lower than the current market price. Taking to the next slide. So the importance of token liquidity. So there's 4 main aspects of reason why you want your token to have strong token liquidity. So number 1, price stability. So why token liquidity is important is price stability. When a token has low liquidity, it's prone to sudden price swings caused by large buy or sell orders, which can lead to significant volatility. So the chart will look all over the place. There'll be no consistency across the price. And if a token has high liquidity, there are enough buyers and sellers in the market to keep the price stable. This means that investors and traders can rely on a stable price for the token, which can lead to their confidence for both traders and investors. Next is access to capital. Access to capital, tokens with high liquidity are more likely to attract institutional investors and large traders. This is because these investors typically require high liquidity to buy or sell large volumes of that token without significantly impacting the price. Increased capital inflows can be beneficial for the development of the token ecosystem, help grow help fund new projects, improve technology, and attract more users. Next on the list is flexibility. Finally, tokens with high liquidity provide more flexibility to traders and investors. They can easily enter and exit positions as needed, which can be especially important for traders who need to respond quickly to market changes or manage their risk in their portfolios. Like, for example, like a 3x capital, like a VC, or it could be funds. This flexibility can be beneficial for both short-term and long-term investors, based on their risk tolerance and investment horizon, as it allows them to adapt to changing market conditions. Lastly, market efficiency. High liquidity can also make the market more efficient. When there's high liquidity, buyers and sellers can transact at fair market prices without experiencing significant price slippage or market distortions, as I mentioned earlier. This leads to the market operating more efficiently, and investors and traders can exit and enter positions with greater ease. Move on to the next slide. So this kind of just goes through everything I just mentioned for in greater detail. We'll probably move it one more slide over too, because we went through all these. These are like all the the reasons why strong liquidity, high liquidity is beneficial, and having a market maker onboarded for newly listed projects, and even mature projects like your top 10 tokens is beneficial. So what is the outcome? The outcome is having a high liquidity and more likely to attract institutional investors. It creates more confidence in the community, and overall it's beneficial for everyone in the ecosystem. Fair price discovery, liquidity, earned traders trust, and then staying listed on exchanges. A lot of exchanges nowadays have certain KPIs targeted towards volume requirements, spread depth. So basically, like how easily is it to sell and buy within say a 2% or 5% window on an exchange? And you can quickly see that, for example, like some Binance tokens where you see strong liquidity, and then comparing it to other exchanges where maybe it's a little bit easier to see that there maybe not be a market maker presence where the slippage is very high. Like the bid might be $1, whereas the ask might be $1.50. So that trader or investor who's buying that coin or token, whatever it is, they have no clue what they're going to be paying for that token. So it's that creates a slippage and inefficiency, as we mentioned earlier. So the next slide. So role of market makers. The main goal of a market maker is to enable crypto markets to become more efficient and reduce price volatility while ensuring that the token has high liquidity and assisting with fair price discovery. So us at Chiron Labs, we assist in the listing multiple exchanges, provide thorough market analysis throughout the life cycle of that project. Help, this is all due to our proprietary algorithmic trading platform. So that's it from my end. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Robert. Yeah, I have a question to you. Who are your largest clients right now? With what projects you're working currently?
Yeah, so I mean, our project portfolio, ranges from projects in the top 100, projects in the the 500 to 1,000 range, and then all the way go down to newly listed projects. Chiron Labs market making is just one pillar of our business. Our another business segment that we use, and especially it's becoming more relevant, and especially working with 3x Capital, is our advisory clients. And advisory clients are more I would say earlier stage projects, which could need help with various aspects of the token launch, whether it's tokenomics, could be raising capital from like a VC like yourselves, could be marketing help, KOLs, stuff to help launch the token, essentially go to market, right? So at Chiron, we don't have a specific niche per se. We're pretty market agnostic, and we're open to any sort of any sort of narrative in the space, whether it's move to earn, play to earn, or AI. There's there's always new narratives kind of popping up in the space, and we're here to support any of those.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Pleasure to have you here today. Dear guests, if you have any questions, there is a last chance to ask Robert about market making. If not, we will move forward.
I have a question, actually. Thank you for sharing, Rob. It was really, really informative. I'm just curious about what are your blockchains and network preferences, or do you have any? For example, are you focusing solely Ethereum projects, or are you looking into some other networks? Thank you.
So no particular, great question. Thank you. No particular, like I said earlier, like we're pretty market agnostic. We work with anything that's EVM compatible. Working with newly launched projects, like the Aptos and Sui's of the world. I think as mentioned earlier, like there's so many new products kind of popping up in the space that it would be ignorant to ignore any certain chains, as we kind of have to be market agnostic, and then just ensure that we're supporting every single chain. But there's no preference per se. Yeah, we're integrated pretty much everywhere.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Pleasure to have you today here. Yeah, I'm also want to introduce our partnership manager and educational program manager, Oksana Vodonos, who will present to you today our educational program and opportunity to develop our skills together with 3X Capital. In the past, Oksana was a mentor, and actually she's a mentor in TechStars, but as far as I know, she was a participant in TechStars together with her team. She developed a startup, and right now she's a member of Global Women in VC. She's very active ambassador of Web3 technologies, and also she has more than 5 years of experience in startups. And she participated in different acceleration programs, so she knows how everything can be and should be organized in the programs. My pleasure to give you a word, Oksana. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Ivan, for such a warm introduction, and pleasure to speak for you today. Yeah, today I want to share with you more insights about our Web3 investment analyst program, and I would like to mention here that it's the last week when you can join the 5th cohort of the program. So feel free to ask me any questions you would like to know about the program. So we managed to build this program to unite and empower Web3 professionals to accelerate the growth and innovation within the industry. So we managed to build the program where we are sharing our experience investing in tokens and in equity in pre-seed startups. And by providing this education, we want to grow the industry, grow the talents market, and make more Web3 projects together. So about the program, basically it's 10 weeks hands-on program where we are covering the topics you need to understand, you need to know to analyze Web3 projects into investment. So could you please change the slide, Petra? Awesome. So right now we already have done 4 programs, and just this Monday we finished our 4th cohort of the program, and during that time we have 62 participants with us, and as I mentioned before, we will have the cohort 5 starting the next Monday, so it's the best time to join the program. Next slide, please. Yeah, and investment analyst program, as I mentioned before, it's 10-week long practical educational program in Metaverse that gives you insights and knowledge on blockchain analytics. And actually, it's a program where you do not only learn how to do it, but basically you will do it. Because during the whole program, you will work with one startup from our pipeline, and you will know how the Web3 VC firm analyze the projects, how do they make due diligence. So it's definitely a good chance to gain VC experience. Additionally, you will also have the access to Web3 network. So we will connect all participants between each other, not only with your cohort, but also with other people who participated before. And also, we are happy to connect all participants with our partners, with our startups. So it's definitely a good chance to grow the network and accelerate the idea within this network. And additionally, our program is fully run in Metaverse, and the access is by NFTs. So it's definitely a good chance to touch a Web3 technology. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah. Regarding the curriculum of the program, so we will have 10 weeks, and we are starting from evaluation process. Yeah, next slide, please, Petro. Can I ask you to do it? Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much. So we are starting from evaluation process, crypto niches discovery, types of investments and valuations, team assessment, market assessment, tokenomics, ROI, and MCFDV metrics calculation, community research, backers overview, and we have added 2 new topics for cohort 5. It's fundraising for Web3 startups and week 10 portfolio management. So we will cover all of these topics which are crucial to understand when you decide the startup to investment. And additionally, this cohort we will have a track. So during this track, we will share the insights about marketing and legal aspect of building Web3 startup. So what you can do after the program. So first of all, the program gives you the valuable insights and experience to start your career or continue as an investment analyst in Web3 investment institutions. We will also invite some participants to join 3x Capital for internship or also full or part-time positions, and it's our pleasure to connect our best participants with our partners, other VC firms and recruitment agencies who can help you with finding a place in investment institutions. Secondly, you can create your Web3 startup in 3x Capital. Before this cohort, we will have additional track for Web3 startups, and we are happy to share our knowledge, not only how to analyze startups, but also how to. So really happy to have Web3 startup founders with us. Next, you can also start investing and assessing in more structured manner. So we will have the workshop about portfolio management, so you will definitely know how to make the proper investment decisions. And use 3x Capital Investment Club and start apply your knowledge into practice, and you can become the investor for early stage startups. So, as I mentioned before, our program is really Web3 native, and all the program is running in Metaverse, where we are now. By the way, we have this closed auditorium where we're having our lectures, and the access is by NFTs. So we have 2 types of NFTs. First is Web3X Basic Pass and Web3X Premium Pass. So by those NFTs, you receive an access to our course and also for the mentorship from our general partners and senior investment analysts. Yeah, and we are happy to have our partners with us because as the team organizer, like we are 3x Capital core team are organizing this course. By the way, we have also our good friends and who are helping us to build this program even more insightful and even more helpful for young talents. So happy to have with us Chris, Marine, Philip, and Emily. So our partner CBR Recruitment, MC Square Applied Web3 Academy. It's Web3 Accelerator and the Crypto Recruiters, one of the biggest recruitment agency at the US market. And we have a couple of new partners with us, and we'll be really happy to introduce them to you at the next meetings. So do not hesitate to apply for the program. As I mentioned before, it's the last time to join the 5th cohort of the program, and we will be really, really happy to work with you at Metaverse during the program and help you to become a better Web3 investor. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to provide you with answers.
Thank you, Oksana. Guys, you can ask any questions right now. Would be very happy to answer them. I think Petro, Oksana, and me can give some support to you in terms of your concerns. So feel free to ask anything right now. Overall, thanks, Oksana, for presenting us the program. I think it was well structured and well presented. Thank you. Also, we have David in the room today, who is a participant of our 4th cohort. David, are you with us? Maybe he has some problems with connections. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. I think we had a great session today and looking forward to see you in the next meetings in Metaverse or even offline meetings, hopefully during the conferences. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.